Ling Chi, and is closing to the Chinese New Year and in the middle of the winter. And today we're going to talk about the subject plum. There is a very significant this subject in the Chinese brush painting. The beginner which we were taught, the basic of four gentlemen, which is plum, orchid, chrysanthemum, and bamboo. The plum started with the leading of the subject because it's involved all the basic stroke you need to know about Chinese brush painting. If you can study all the elements of this subject, then that will give you a very good foundation of Chinese brush painting. And Plum also known to be the character of perseverance, because in the midst of winter, in the snow, this particular plant is going to blossom without the leaves. And in our collection of study book, there is the Four Gentlemen by Jiang Shen-qiao, and which will give you a very good element of studying. Start with the branches, which is the basic stroke of a bone stroke, and then into the trunk, and then at the end also teach you the plum blossom, which is the shape. Today we're going to use shen paper, which is absorbent paper, will show the character of the light and dark very vividly. And then I'm going to use two brushes. One is our large double happiness. When we choose double happiness is because this brush is good for doing calligraphy as well as painting. So we call it double happiness. And the reason I choose this brush is you can see this brush has volume, has body, but that has a very long pointed tip, and that will help me to do the trunk of the plum. So if you don't have large double happiness, you have any brush look like this shape, has volume, has a good body, and has a long sharp tip. And that's number one. The second brush, which is one of our newer brush, and then we're very excited this brush, we call it Twig Brush. This is a really good bone stroke brush. We'll use this for the branches. And I also will show you the diversity of this brush. I'm also going to use this brush to paint the plum blossom. And I will use the large double happiness to show you the calligraphy of perseverance for our audience who are study calligraphy. And then I will use the twig brush to sign my painting. So we will get started to show you some basic stroke. So on the twig brush, and I will show you the color I'm using. We have waited for a while to have this particular palette come into our stock. Is our companion set, 12 color set. And then so all my demonstration is trying to use as easy, as convenient as material. You can do it without a lot of setup. But if you have a complete setup, use watercolor or chip color, and then you're welcome to do so. But for my purpose, I want to show you that you don't need to spend a lot of effort to getting set up, and then you can use this. So what I did was I did two color. The green, I don't like this particularly green in this palette. So what I do is I use the green and then I add a little bit vermilion and the brown to soften my green. And then I use the brown with vermilion and then a teeny bit of ink to darken this. And then this is a straight bottle, best bottle ink. So that's all I'm going to do for the trunk as well as the branches. And then use the flower. I'm just use this magenta pink in this palette to do the flower. And then in the center, I'm going to use the bleed-proof white in the Dr. Martens in the jar to do the center. So I'm going to show you some basic stroke for you to practice on the Twig brush. So this is the branches. So again, so I would like you to practice, and then the book of Plum by Johnson Chow has a lot of samples you can use to practice. And then for the trunk, this is kind of new for me too. So I'm going to use the large double happiness, and I'm going to use one side with green. And then I don't blend that well. And then the other side, I'm loading the brown I mixed. And I stroke it dry. And then I tip with the straight ink. So this is the beginning. So I will use this kind of 45 degree to the paper. And I turn the brush around. So this is going to be the basic stroke for this, the plum. So later on when I do the composition, you'll see it makes sense. And then as far as the flower, I diluted magenta in the palette, and I'm just going to use the Twig brush. This flower I'm using is when you're looking at from the top down. So 2 dots, and then so this is the flower. And then I have another flower is from the top down. So then I go 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is from the top. And then the flower bud, which is just a dot. And then I will use the bleed-proof white, and if I were you, I'd take it out of the jar because this color are easily to be contaminated. So that's it. These are the elements of this subject. So I load my brush sideways with the green mixture and then the brown. Stroke it dry. And I load the tip with the ink. Now I turn the brush around. Now I load the tip with the straight ink. Now I load the Twig Brush with brown and a little bit ink. So, now I'm doing the flower. So I'm going to write a perseverance on the top. No, I think I changed my mind. I'm going to write plum blossom on the top.
And how do you say those characters?
梅花. And then I use the perseverance stamp on the bottom to show the character. And then on this side, I'm going to sign my name. And then this will finish my composition.
And that's your artist seal, your name seal.
Yes.
You need more what paper? Is that your tummy or my tummy? Nobody's tummy? My mouth. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Repeat what you needed again?
After this, for our audience who are into calligraphy, I will write perseverance in the large form. So then you can see